Still watching news here on the Rise News. Now, the Supreme Court of Nigeria on Friday declared Samuel Onuigbo the duly nominated candidate of the All Progressive Congress for Abia Central Senatorial District in Abia State. Now, the Apex Court's verdict affirmed an earlier decision of the Court of Appeal sitting in Owerri. Emeka Atuma had been declared winner of the ticket. Mary Ikokwu is a development and political analyst. She joins us from our Abuja studio to unpack what's the latest judgment and what it means for the All Progressive Congress in Abia State. I want to thank you very much. Mary, let's start it off from a straight question. Talk to us. What do you make of this particular judgment by the Apex Courts?
Thank you very much. You know, it's a judgment that whenever there's a judgment, you will have people who are very excited about it, and you will find people who get upset, you know. But this is one judgment that I believe that every man and woman of conscience will be very proud of our justice system. For some of us who came to this politics with a whole gamut of you know, democratic ideals, we've been watching to see what the Supreme Court judgment will be. And honestly, I would say that the Supreme Court of Nigeria yesterday delivered true justice. You know, when you say the court is the hope of a common man, that was what was established yesterday in the judgment of Atuma versus Sam Onuigbo. Now, here is the thing. For us in APC, this was an election that I personally monitored. It was an election between Sam Onuigbo and Henry Ikokwu Chief. These two people, it was a keenly contested election. And Sam Onuigbo won during the primaries. And to our chagrin, you know, sometimes there may also be decisions by a few people within the party who have made their own calculations. No matter how that calculations come about, some of us do not know or do we understand the workings behind the scene. But to the chagrin of most of us, Sam Onuigbo's name did not make the list of candidates for for the Senate in Abia State. And that was shocking to us. I think he started struggling. He now went to court. That an election he duly contested and won. A name had been put there. And much less somebody who he didn't see at the time he was contesting for the primaries. Someone who didn't as much as even buy the form for that election, never contested for that election, now happened to be the name on the ballot. And this is where you see people, every man or woman of conscience will begin to worry. Is the court going to deliver good judgment? Is this Our Lady Justice ever going to, that blindfold, is it going to really be blindfold to corruption, monetary inducement, and any kind of thing, and deliver justice? And that was what we experienced yesterday in the judgment that gave the candidacy of Abia Central to Honorable Sam Onuigbo. You know, so for me, I think it's a good judgment, and for our party, I don't speak for the APC in Abia State. The party has a spokesperson in Abia. I'm speaking personally as an individual who has come into politics as a decent Nigerian citizen, as somebody who has character, competence, who have shared values where things are done right. It was a judgment that every one of us should be proud of. And I know that even my party, sometimes these things happen. It was on this TV sometime last month that I said that oftentimes people blame political parties for some of the indiscretions that go on. But sometimes APC as a party did put out a notice. And they said to all of us who ran for the primaries, said, these are the party guidelines. Please, every one of you, go down to your states and run an election, primary election, following these guidelines. And the party warned at that time, we do not want a repeat of what happened in Zamfara and Rivers State in the last election. And some of us went down to our various states, and some people were doing all manner of things. And then we all turn around to blame the party. So when you see somebody who didn't run an election appearing on the ballot, you go to court. And this is what people miss when you don't have faith in the justice system. It's a problem. So what has been delivered is a judgment that gives people like us that hope, a kind of patented hope to realize that you can actually get justice if things are not done right within your party. And sometimes you may think, you hear, oh, the leadership wants this, the national wants this. Sometimes it may just be one or two people doing this mathematics and arithmetics on everybody else. So I applaud Sam Onigbo, and at the same time, I don't know also, my brother Emeka Atuma is a very energetic, very wonderful, young, a great party member. And I know that even though this judgment has come through, I don't think he's going to be a bitter person. He's a great sportsman, and I know that he's also going to accept this in kind heart. He has been doing so much for the party. He's tried to hold the party together, and that's something I like about him. And I know he's going to also continue in that spirit, especially for the sake, for the success, for the collective success of our party. And for the judgment, it's a fantastic judgment, and I'm very proud that the Supreme Court delivered that judgment. They actually reinforced and reaffirmed what the appeal court's judgment was. So I think it's a good one.
Very good, Mary. And you've just alluded to the significance of this Supreme Court judgment over the issue. Now, I'm going to take you back from an individual point of view, those one or two people and their manipulations, irrespective of the fact that you're still a member of the party. But don't you think this litigation is an indictment on APC in Abia State, especially when you have individuals doing those things the Supreme Court has, of course, given judgment over?
I won't see it, you may see it as an indictment on the party. That would be an outsider's point of view. But as someone who is inside, I won't totally indict my party for that. And I'll tell you why. It's still the same thing I said earlier, and I've said this here before, that we must begin to apportion blames to the individuals who are committing crimes, who are committing electoral fraud in this country. INEC may be too busy conducting elections to be able to, handle cases of electoral frauds. And the police may also be getting overwhelmed with the amount of violence and all manner of things that go on in our political spaces to also effectively handle such matters. But when something happens within political parties, you get to find out that there are all manner of people, all kinds of people within parties. And this is why I kept asking my friends and people who have known me as a good governance advocate, as someone who have consistently made demands from the government on accountability, on transparency, that we have been fighting from outside the politics. Now, I joined Dr. Obiageli Ebisekwesili, the founder of Fixed Politics, because many of us want to see the political space fixed. And I've realized that you cannot fix the politics from outside. And that's why we clamor for Nigerians. If you want this country fixed, please, every decent citizen who is worth his or her salt should find a political party, register in that political party. When you get into those parties, please look for people of shared values and begin to build a critical mass of decent Nigerians within parties. You just need 30% to build a critical mass in decision-making processes. And if within your political party, you can find people like yourself, people who are transparent, people who have character, people who can make demands from government within your party, you should build that, rally them, and before you know it, it's not going to be a sprint. It will be a marathon. It may not even happen in my time. It may be at the time of my children. But let's even start doing something. In my party, I will not indict the party totally about this because I've had that experience myself. In my own election, my primaries, I also had an experience. And you know what to do. Some people say, oh, I wish I had gone to court. I don't have such regrets. Because I know that when you don't do things right, there is the next level where you go to seek redress. And you have every right to seek redress. It is when you now go to court and you don't get justice, you don't stop and you don't leave the party for these criminals. You stay on there. If people who are evil-minded, if people who are committing fraud within the parties can be so determined in doing evil, what stops decent citizens? What stops the good people? Why are the good people running away? Look, this country is too important. I have no other country. This is the only country I have. Therefore, we will continue to fight, whether we're outside politics or within politics. We will continue to fight. The struggle will continue until Nigeria is fixed. And why do we need to fix the political system? Nigeria has a highly monopolistic political space. And you know, in monopoly, just like in the economies, when you have monopoly, competition cannot thrive. Indeed. When you have monopoly, and if God punishes you, that monopoly is a substandard monopoly, you will continue to live with that substandard monopoly. That's all you got. So for many people, you need to see the political space and say, this is not the Nigeria we want, and begin to work from inside.
All right. I want to say
so I won't just indict the party. I will indict the actors within the party.
All right. Thank you very much for your time here on Newsday. I want to say thank you for actually contributing to this topic.